I'm Barry Chandler, founder of Interactive Hospitality. You may know me as the Bar Blogger. Welcome to this video where we're going to talk about the strategy behind social media for bars and restaurants. Now, when you set about building your business, you made plans, you had a strategy, and hopefully every month as you go forward, you've got a plan, you've got a strategy of what you want to do, what you want to achieve, and you set a goal. There's a goal in mind as to what you need to have achieved by the end of the month, be that a revenue figure, be that average check, whatever it might be. It's most likely going to be a revenue figure that you need to achieve in order to meet your goals and to pay the bills, pay the staff, make sure that there's a little profit at the end of it. All going to plan that works. You set new goals for the next month. Social media is exactly the same. We need a strategy for bars and restaurants. Now, I spoke at a conference yesterday that had nothing to do with bars and restaurants. It was the Ohio Turfgrass Foundation, a conference dedicated to those working in the greenkeeping industry, lawn care, turf management, golf, football fields and things like that. Now, what was I doing at a conference like that when I work at bars and restaurants? Well, the reason I was asked to speak at that conference is because I speak on the strategy behind a social media campaign, and the strategy is based on a formula, and that formula works for all brick and mortar businesses, any business trying to attract a customer base, be it business to business or be it business to consumer. Now, you as a bar and a restaurant owner or manager are trying to attract customers day in, day out. You're trying to keep them engaged. You're trying to get them to come in and visit the business, spend their money and come back again, bring their friends. You need a goal, okay? So step one in a social media strategy, and over this video and the ensuing videos, we're going to develop this strategy out for you so that you know exactly what it is you have to do to build a successful social media campaign around your business. Now, the first thing you have to do as a business owner is to understand what your goal is when you're investing time and potentially money into social media. So what do you want to achieve out of it? I spoke with a friend of mine who consults with restaurants today, and he said that he knows this one woman who runs a bar in Chicago, and she spends hours a day on Facebook while her food cost runs at 65%. So she hasn't got a goal in mind, she doesn't know what she wants to achieve, but she knows that somewhere through the computer and Facebook, all her customers are there and she wants to try and reach them, so she's spending hours a day trying to do it. Now, without a goal, how does she know when she's achieved it? Clearly, with a 65% food cost, there's other things she should be spending her time at. So you need to sit down and establish what do you want to achieve. You're not getting into social media or Facebook or Twitter because it's cool, because you hear big numbers like 800 million people are using Facebook, sure, but how many locally in your area and how many can you attract? So let's give some examples of goals that you can set as bar and restaurant owners in social media. Maybe you want to increase day part sales. Maybe on a Tuesday afternoon between 3 o'clock or between lunchtime, between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Maybe you want to grow that part of the business. Maybe you've got staff in there already, the lights are on, the fridges are whirring, the chef is in the kitchen. You need to fill that part of the day, 4 hours in a week that you need to fill. Maybe that's your first goal. So what do you do to grow that business during that specific day part? Well, we're going to talk about that strategy in the other videos, but it's an achievable goal that you can set. So what are the criteria for setting a goal for social media? First of all, it's got to be achievable. That is pretty achievable to grow your business between 2 and 4 on Tuesday. It's certainly achievable, and I'm going to show you how to do that in the next few videos. It's got to be measurable. How do we know? Well, if between 2 and 4 on Tuesday, 2 and 6 on a Tuesday, our business is booming, we know we've achieved our goal. Okay, so we have to have that achievable, and we need to know what the goal is. And then all of the rest of our efforts can focus around filling those parts of the days. If our staff know that it's Tuesday between 2 and 6, we have to be full. If everybody knows and everybody's fighting for the same cause, I'm pretty sure we're going to achieve that given the right strategy that comes after it. So start by setting a goal. Let me give you 3 examples of businesses that we've worked with that have set goals and that have achieved those goals. One particular fast casual restaurant wanted to reduce the amount of money they were spending on local advertising in terms of coupons they were sending in the mail, coupons they were paying another company to send out on their behalf, direct mail they were sending out on birthdays with another company. They reckon they were spending about $2,000 a month on direct mail campaigns. So to reduce the amount of money spent on that, they decided to utilize Facebook and social media. We came on board and helped them set up some Facebook ads to target users in their area. So people living within 5 miles of their business, giving them a reason to come in, an incentive, a coupon to come in the door. We spent $200 a month instead of $2,000. And we were able to get the same number of people in the door than spending $2,000 on direct mail. So think about that. That was a very measurable goal. They wanted to reduce the amount of money they spent. It was easy to see if they did or they didn't, because they compared them side by side for a couple of months. So that was one example of goal setting. Second example was a restaurant we worked with that wanted to measure the success of their social media campaign. That's a very simple goal. They wanted to see if the amount of time they're spending on Facebook was turning into business. So we turned their Facebook page into a little bit of a marketing machine for them. We integrated coupons and bounce back rewards so that as a visitor browsed through their Facebook page, they were able to redeem offers that they were able to bring into the restaurant. The restaurant kept those printed offers and counted them at the end of the week, and they realized we're getting a return on our time investment. That was an easy, measurable goal. It was achievable. They saw that it was worth their time, and they can keep doing it. And the third example is a nightclub that came to us prior to opening, 6 weeks before opening, with zero online presence, and they had one simple goal, that was to be full on opening night. The only other advertising or public relations that they were doing was one radio spot a week before the opening, but instead they wanted to they were hoping that they could rely on Facebook because they had a limited advertising budget. So we utilized Facebook ads to, over a 6-week period, draw attention to the fact that this nightclub is opening in this area. We target people between the ages of 21 and 28, which is the target market, living in the zip code that they were in, and giving them a reason to come in and giving them some behind-the-scenes strategy or behind-the-scenes content, pictures, videos, posts, showing them the progress of this nightclub as it was built. By the time opening night came, there was a line all the way down the street because everybody had heard about it through Facebook. We had more than 700 fans on the Facebook page before the doors even opened. So they were 3 goals that we set with businesses. So remember, in a social media strategy for a bar, a restaurant, or a lawn care company, as I spoke about yesterday, you always need a strategy. And step number 1, that strategy is understanding what you want to achieve out of it. Everything else you do after that is going to be centered around that one goal that you set. So set a goal for your social media activities, and in the next video we'll talk about what platforms you need. In other words, do you need Facebook, do you need Twitter, and how to know where your customers are so that you can serve them on the social media networks that they're already on. Okay, so set a goal. If you have any questions, you can reach me on Twitter @thebarblogger, or send an email to barry@thebarblogger.com anytime. I will talk to you in the next video. Cheers.